Hello, and welcome to Stasis Pod, the Beast Wars podcast. I'm Rob.
I'm Jen.
I'm Alex.
And I'm David.
And today, for our 15th episode, we're looking at The Spark, an episode that when it first aired, there was great joy. And then when it ended, the universe wept.
This is such a big deal, great, important episode here.
Oh, yes.
So, I'm excited.
And not just because it compelled you to buy a new toy.
It did. Not only did it compel me to buy a new toy, it compelled me to check Toys R Us daily until that new toy showed up.
Oh.
And yet, I still maintain Razor Claw is the cooler toy from that wave.
He's pretty good, but he's not a girl.
Well, it's not a girl, but he's a crab, and he's got spooky claws. Okay. This first aired November 11th, 1996, written by show co-creator Larry DiTillio.
Yay.
Yep.
Which makes sense because this contains a pretty important part of Beast Wars and later Transformers as a whole mythology.
Yeah, it's something, one of the things from Beast Wars. Really, there's a lot of stuff to Beast Wars, but there's not a lot that can really be retroactively applied to Transformers as a whole in the way this was. And it's really something that's shown up in, it was pretty much absorbed into all Transformers conceptually after this.
It's in everything. It's in the live-action movies, it's in the IDW comics, it's in the new TV shows. It's everywhere.
Ended up in a subline title.
Yep.
Yes. So
it's
yeah.
the single most important contribution to the show, and I'm saying that above and beyond, let's reboot this once every 3 years because it makes the brand keep alive longer.
Yes.
So it was really, because prior to this, and, again, this is coming in as someone who was very heavily involved in G1 fandom stuff. Before this, there really wasn't much about Transformers as Cybertronians, as a race, that was really very well explained. The cartoon took almost a very atheistic view of it, that they were just machines that had been built, and if you wanted to build some more that looked like dinosaurs, you could build some and put a Commodore 64 in their brains so that they can't talk proper English. And they did later come up with the whole Vector Sigma thing, though it's kind of funny that came in after the Dinobots had been built, because it's like, so did the Dinobots just not have anything like that?
Yeah, it evolved.
They're just soulless abominations.
But
yeah,
they were. Any Transformer was rather obviously different from a robot, or at least human build. Like, if a Transformer builds a robot, it's another Transformer. But if a human builds a robot, it's still a robot.
Yeah, like Nightbird.
Yeah, Nightbird is very obviously still a robot.
Oh,
yeah.
Even though she looks
I can hear
like
people
a
from 1995 yelling at you about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
interesting.
Really, the answer is they did not think about it that much.
Yeah, that was really the big answer, is that obviously whoever came up with the idea of Vector Sigma, for instance, hadn't applied any of that to anything back when the Dinobots were built, or when the Constructicons were built, or any of that.
Yeah, it does.
So then they retconned that the Constructicons had been around for a while, I guess.
Yeah, the Constructicons have 3 origins. It seems like a weird thing to leave out of the story Bible about your alien robots, how your alien robots are created. It just sort of filtered in from
souls.
Yeah, they have, and we find out in this episode.
They were clearly taking the Mystery Science Theater 3000 approach to world building during G1.
Well, yeah, it's old cartoons don't.
Just repeat to yourself, it's just a cartoon designed to sell action figures. I should really just relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the comics, which I think I mentioned before, I was sort of odd for knowing a lot about the cartoon but caring more about the comics. because I didn't actually discover the comics until the 90s when I was a teenager. But that had the whole Primus origin, but it never really, and you could still, even in the comics, you had the Matrix, which was used to create new life and basically serve the same function as Vector Sigma, except then in the cartoon with the movie, they decided to introduce the Matrix to the cartoon continuity. And who even knew what it did at that point except play the touch when you opened it?
It was a giant glowing coconut.
Yeah. So, in the comic there was that, but they never really said in either the cartoon or the comic what exactly it was that either the Matrix or Vector Sigma imbued. And sort of the impression that I would have taken away at that point would be that their programming as people was so complex that it wasn't something that Wheeljack could just whip up. I mean, it's like just having this, a couple dudes who can just build AI just out from scratch. But this is where we really, for the first time, had something solid that we could point to and say, this is what makes them alive. This is what functions as their soul. And because it's not like, it was a very good, solid idea, and there was nothing really else to contradict that, it pretty much stuck around. It pretty much got used in everything afterwards, because you needed something to distinguish them from the robots that were building cars on a production line in Detroit. So, that was really the impact that this episode had, was to give a name and a solid definition to this concept that the series never really managed to get a name or a definition for before.
Alright, so on with the episode. We open in space. There are stasis pods because this is a stasis pod episode, but because it's a maximal stasis pod episode, you're gonna have to wait till the end of the show to find out what toy Hasbro wants you to buy this week.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yes.
Well, or at least you're gonna have to wait 10 minutes until you see an animal that hasn't previously appeared on the show before, and it becomes pretty obvious that's what the one that's gonna be on.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, it's like, hey, we had to make this animal model, now we're going to have some foreshadowing.
Yeah,
Although, I will note to my regret that we see frogs a couple of times over the course of Beast Wars, and we never got a Spidor.
Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to
Spoilers.
give him credit for the stasis pod scene.
It
It
is
was very
neat.
nice.
It getting knocked out of orbit and the way it behaved after getting knocked out of orbit is a lot better than we've seen in the previous stasis pod episodes.
Yes.
Yeah. Some good
Brief
physics.
entry.
Sorry.
Anyway, so it gets kind of messed up on its way down. It's various internal mechanisms are damaged. The Predacons detect it. Notably, Tarantulas detects it first and appears to have some plans for it.
Disturbing,
Yeah.
creepy plans,
Well,
almost
I mean,
certainly.
presumably not the same plans as last time.
Maybe he figures he'll try again, or maybe he really wants like a harem of tsundere spiders to just hang around and not
Yeah, that was
really
basically
like
my
him.
assumption.
Yeah. Well, wait,
And-
I've got the Sundari one, now I need to get the Moe one.
Yeah. He just wanted to be in a harem anime. That's what it comes down to. Is Tarantulas is working on the cast of his harem anime. He saw some Tenchi Muyo subs, and he's thinking this is actually a pretty good idea.
Well, I guess we will find out in a couple episodes that he does have other sinister, non-sex related plans for a stasis pod.
Aww.
And I think this is the first hint that we know from previous episodes that Tarantulas is a weird creep.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think this is our first indication that he's a weird creep with sinister ulterior motives.
Yeah, he seems to have an agenda now,
Yes.
as it
He's
were.
a creep with actual plans that don't involve just being creepy.
Yes.
Does
But
that make him
unfortunately for
any
him,
different from any of the other Predacons, or from Scorponok?
Waspinator? Yeah.
I mean, Waspinator theoretically has plans, but
Well,
He has plans
think of ideas, but yeah.
for Waspinator.
I mean, those plans are probably, I don't know, I'm going to move out and get my own place.
Tarantulas' idea
Was the Nader get the job?
Waspinator stay up late and eat ice cream for dinner if Waspinator want.
Was the Nader have whole freezer full of Hot Pockets?
Tarantulas wants to get the pod, but oh surprise, Megatron's there. Well, Megatron's dinosaur head is there first.
Yeah.
On one shoulder, and then
So
Megatron's
great when
normal
he
head
does
pops
that.
up on the other shoulder to harass Tarantulas.
I love when he does that.
So good.
Yeah, and the pod is coming down in a weird... It's wobbling, so they can't exactly specify where it's going to land. But it's supposedly coming down in Grid Scavos?
Which
Yes.
is not really a reference to anything that I'm aware of.
It feels like it should be a reference, and the closest thing I can think of is Scarro from Doctor Who.
Yeah, that was my thought.
Yeah,
It could be a reference to something non-fandom. How's that?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be a Greek reference or something. We don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like something, but it apparently isn't. And then Tarantulas and Megatron snark at each other after Megatron tells him what to do. It's like Tarantulas calls him a tyrant lizard, calls him a tyrant, and he's a tyrant lizard. And then Megatron says a treacherous arachnid.
Which is kind of the first indication that he's treacherous. I mean,
Yeah.
we know now that he's super treacherous.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in general, his treachery has taken a backseat to Pterosaur's treachery.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his treachery, as far as him personally, has taken a backseat to him being super creepy.
Yes. So instead of sending Tarantulas, because again, weirdo, he sends Scorponok and Black Arachne to get it, presumably hoping. Actually, those two get paired off a little bit.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess Megatron wants her supervised.
Yeah. And, I mean, that's pretty clear soon that yes, he wants her supervised.
Yeah.
But yeah, here it's not really as clear as it may be in later episodes, but he's maybe getting an idea that she's got her own thing going on.
Yeah,
She
She's
also
smart
has
but
plans.
not loyal. He's loyal but not smart. Together they add up to one decent soldier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and in previous episodes, it's proven that Scorponok can't, watch over Tarantulas, because Tarantulas will just bug off and doesn't care.
Just leave.
Yeah. So he has to keep Tarantulas close, so he has to send Black Arachnia out, and Scorponok's okay enough to watch her.
Yeah.
And luckily, a couple of Maximals happen to be around as well, as both Rhinox and Cheetor see it falling.
Yeah, they spot it the old-fashioned way. Oh, it's crashing. I should go find out what that is.
I should go see what's going on over there.
Its trajectory
And-
really did not look erratic.
It's that low in the atmosphere. It's stabilized at that point.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
And it's
Rhinox's
interesting-
transformation roar in this scene was really kind of scary compared to how they usually are.
Yeah, also
Yeah.
it seems weird that, as soon as he sees it crashing, he transforms to robot mode and then runs after. It's like, wouldn't you get there just as fast? Rhino?
I don't know. I mean, Rhino mode is kind of large and thuddy.
And it seems to be like a rocky terrain, so maybe those Rhino, stumpy legs can't handle it.
I get
Maybe
it.
he just played Crackdown and wanted to traverse a city-like area like in that game. Also, I have to note that, why am I out in this remote setting away from the maximal base? I was looking for Energon.
Yeah.
Didn't find any.
Yeah,
It's just a plot device to set up characters and
He
wherever
found
the show needs it.
some.
yeah.
But yeah, that does.
It's a real too much Energon situation.
Yes.
Yeah, he's near Energon geysers, which are weird.
It's unstable, can't get to any of it. This was pointless.
And so we get the Rhinox Cheetor pairing for most of this episode, and we haven't really seen those two interact a whole lot.
Not really.
Yeah,
Pretty
no.
neat.
It's different.
Obviously, Rhinox sort of has the lead role, but, I think they work well and this would unfortunately sort of become a pattern for Rhinox while he's, whereas he's sidelined doing science stuff and sort of sending Cheetor to defend him.
Yeah. Someone else needs to, keep him safe.
I have to work on the plot of this episode. You do some action to keep the kids entertained.
Yes.
Yeah.
This almost becomes a three-hander, but when Cheetor radios Tigatron, but he isn't in this for too long.
Tigatron, who is conveniently not in the Arctic at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wherever the writers want to use him when they remember he's there.
He's wherever you need him to be, baby.
Yes.
Does Cheetor
Yeah.
using a pointless codename for Tigertron count as Cheetor does something stupid, or is it too inconsequential for that?
Cheetor has some terrible interjections in this episode. I counted both hopping helix and bouncing breakers.
Yeah, if we count every time Cheetor said something silly as Cheetor does something dumb, well, he'd be off the scales at this point.
And we also get an Ultra Gear in there.
Yeah.
I thought they earned that one at least.
It's not good.
So Rhinox gets to the pod first, cracks it open, it's super messed up.
Yeah.
There's the pod is broken, it's getting energon radiation. And
actually did a really neat fake depth of field shot as they were showing him messing with the stasis pod.
Yeah.
Totally faked it because they did not have the computation power to do depth of field in an engine while they were rendering it at the time. And I can tell you exactly how they did it, but it looked really good and it worked, and proud of him for it.
Yeah, it was
That
probably
was really
a
good work, and
composite.
I'd like to see him do more stuff like that.
Probably a composite shot. They seem to be doing that, maybe, you know? Well, at least
That's exactly what it was. Composite shot, Gaussian blur on one element, then Gaussian blur on the other element, and just cross-fading between them.
Yeah.
Well, that made precisely as much sense to me as Rhinox's Technobabble did in this episode.
Yeah.
Made sense to me.
I assume they also had to donate their locking chips.
Yeah, Adobe's kind of a stickler for getting those.
So, Predacons are on the way, but luckily, Tigatron comes across Scorponok first and shoots him with a freeze ray, which I was not aware he had.
Yeah,
You know, because...
Makes sense, but you gotta do something, but... And thus begins the domino effect of one guy shooting another guy, shooting another guy, shooting another guy.
Yes. And as spiders are wont to do, Black Arachne gets the drop on Tigatron and shoots him full of cyber venom, which kind of sounds like a broken juicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, but she probably intentionally used Scorponok as bait.
That does seem likely, especially with how fed up she was with him earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of done with him.
Yeah, they've kind of locked down her personality at this point.
Yeah, that's actually one of my notes. It's like, well, first Scorponok is sucking up, and then BA has a personality! Exclamation.
Yes.
And again, it's good because this is one of the showrunner episodes. So, you know, they're confident enough to step in and say, okay, this is that new toy that Hasbro asked us to put in a few episodes back. This is what she's gonna be like.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, she's kind of not, she's disrespectful towards authority, but she is still going along with what Megatron wants, for now at least.
For now. Yes.
Yeah, so Tigatron is basically out of the episode now. He's full of cyber venom.
Poor guy.
But luckily Cheetor is there. And also there is a Peregrine Falcon there, so spoilers as to what the new Maximal is going to be.
And it's not just a model they created for this episode. That bird has been in previous episodes, usually eaten by Pterosaur.
Also,
right.
luckily, Cheetor is there is one of those phrases you don't hear that often.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
This is true, but it is actually totally true this time.
Yes.
He saved the day by being remarkably selfless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I can see him being selfless.
Yeah, the pod needs a locking chip from somebody, and Rhinox needs hands to be able to fix this thing, so it's gonna have to come from Cheetor.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's the entire series is predicated upon, we have to be in beast modes because we can't walk around because there's energon leaking, and yet Rhinox spends most of this episode in robot mode. Admittedly, he shuts down whatever protocols and
he diverts power from his weapon systems to his energon shields.
Yeah, which sounds like normal Trek talk that might work, except for the fact that his weapons are actually separate things. They're not part of his body. They're giant chips.
Maybe
It's gonna
they're
be powered
into
by
him
something.
somehow.
I guess maybe it works in the scene, but when you think about it, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
We're going by Star Trek rules here, and by Star Trek rules, you can divert power from anything to power anything.
And he's sort of splitting between Scotty and Bones. Dr. Rhinox is on the job.
Yeah, that's something that you see sometimes with Transformers, where they, especially in settings where they are more robots than aliens, and you get that crossover mechanic physician sort of thing going.
Yes.
And Rhinox is definitely very much in that category.
Okay, so Cheetor has to shut down a little during this, and while doing so has one of his weird, trippy, somewhat prophetic dreams that he often has.
Nifty fish-eyed trippiness. Although,
yes,
I kind of got the impression from this one that he was hallucinating the visuals, but was still hearing. But then the end of the episode seems to contradict that.
Yeah, it's very weird. Like, it makes sense because, does Rhinox plug himself into Cheetor, or is he just taking something out?
He's just taking stuff out.
But I don't know. He
later
feels...
plugged himself into the stasis pod.
Oh yeah, but it feels like it's Rhinox talking to Cheetor in what to me might be the best animated scene so far.
It's very nice.
But it's a psychedelic info dump, and Rhinox is explaining.
May as well make it look cool.
Yeah, Rhinox is explaining to Cheetor and the audience what a spark is, which was the start of our episode, kind of.
Well, one would have
Cheetor
to
know about this.
Yeah,
maybe he does, and he's just sort of dream remembering when he was told about this as a little bitty kitten.
Yeah, that's possible.
Maybe he's remembering when Rhinox gave him the talk about the birds and the bees and the yellowy energy balls.
Well,
yeah.
In the dream sequence, Cheetor does seem a lot smaller than Rhinox, so maybe. Maybe it's a flashback that fits in with what's happening right now. It's a cool scene.
Yeah. And, it gives us the rudimentary, every dude from Cybertron has a spark. They're what makes us unique.
Mm-hmm.
When one goes online, it's great. When one is extinguished, it's bad.
It's sad.
Yes.
The universe weeps.
That is really neat.
That was pretty
I was
great.
surprised that you referred to the species as Cybertrons and not Cybertronians.
Yeah, that's the only part of it that's off.
I have heard that used before, though. I think it...
Well, mostly in Japanese stuff.
Yes, it's Japanese.
Well, I think in Japanese, aren't the Cybertrons, that's the Autobots, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the Destrons are the Decepticons.
But then it's the Sabertron is like the entire planet. It's
right.
It's a weird difference that's difficult to make sense of if you don't speak Japanese.
Yeah. So while this episode is creating one of the biggest, most important things about Transformers lore, the spark, it should be retconned to Cybertronians instead of Cybertrons. Little off.
Well, we'll leave it.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Language shift.
Maybe it's like the difference between human and Earthlings.
Yeah.
Human and humanoid.
Human and Homo sapiens.
Maybe a Turbo Fox would be considered a Cybertronian.
That's true.
But it wouldn't be one of the sentient dominant race.
And it is interesting that instead of that they could have just used Transformers in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were still, the writers I think were still getting a little bit of a handle on what they had gotten into at this point.
Have they called themselves Transformers on screen in the time that we've been doing this?
I'm actually not sure if they have.
Oh wow, that's kind of like a modern Kamen Rider thing, where they are Kamen Riders but don't call themselves Kamen Rider.
Maybe. Oh. I don't know.
Yeah.
And even, I think that first like Michael Bay movie, I don't think it uses Transformer anywhere in it.
Yeah, well.
And it's kind of a goofy name.
It also doesn't use things like writing or common law.
The first one was written. John Rogers
okay.
wrote the first script for that, and it actually was a decent first script.
First one's not
the second one that literally wasn't written due to the writer's strike.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it's kind of amazing how much of a masterpiece the first one looks like compared to the others.
Well, that's because the first one is just a remake of Small Soldiers.
Well, yes, there's that.
Oh god, it totally is.
Down to the casting of the father.
Oh, right. Jeez, Kevin Dunn is in that, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh man, if only Phil Hartman had been alive
Yeah.
in Transformers. I mean, if only Phil Hartman had been alive for a variety of reasons.
Well, yeah.
And what could have been if they'd cast Tommy Lee Jones as Megatron?
That would have been pretty great.
I have trouble seeing Tommy Lee Jones agreeing to that. I mean, I guess he did do Small Soldiers, but...
He did do whichever Batman that was.
Oh, that's true, and he's hilariously terrible in that Batman.
Yeah, as is everyone and everything.
I'm still kind of annoyed that he replaced...
Tommy Lee Jones.
Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, he replaced
Billy
Lando
D.
Calrissian, and I feel horrible for not remembering his real name.
Billy D. Williams. Billy D.
Well, don't feel too bad for Billy D. He still got paid for it.
Well, hey, there you go.
Because I guess, I guess he knew his Batman well enough to know that if I'm playing Harvey Dent in this movie, they're probably bringing me back for this one, so I'm going to make sure that if they cast somebody else's Two-Face, I'm still going to get paid.
Sweet.
Good move, Billy D.
Good job, Billy D. Williams.
That's right.
We just need
Kept
to get
him in Colt 45 for another couple of years.
We're just needing
I thought doing the ads for Colt 45 kept him in Colt 45.
That too.
Anyway, so Shooter wakes up from his exposition nap and, he wants to tell Rhinox all about the crazy dream he had, but Rhinox is not having it. He's busy.
He's busy. He's got things to do. He's got lives to save.
That's right.
They only have 8.6 cycles to fix it, or the protoform is going to die.
However long that is, I am going to assume minutes here. It could be like a month.
It could be a few hours.
Did we? Oh, was it minutes or was it?
It's minutes.
Yeah, it's minutes.
I looked it up a few episodes ago. It was minutes is the equivalent unit scale to cycles.
Huh. And then there's megacycles and then some other things.
Yeah.
Gigacycles.
And unfortunately, Black Arachnia chooses this time to arrive, and Cheetor can't really go into robot mode much because he has no energon protection.
But he is in it for quite a bit, though. But
Yeah.
Well, he manages to shoot a bunch of rocks on her, and then he starts to overload.
I liked how pissed off she was at having rocks dropped on her. Like,
Yes.
You may pull that sort of thing on Waspinator, but I am not Waspinator. You do not do that to me.
I use pronouns.
Yeah. I have an IQ in the triple digits, thank you.
I know Kung Fu.
Yeah,
The
she does.
protoform switching back from the whole melty, pliable energy form to the stable robot thing when Cheetor woke up was pretty neat.
Yes.
Yeah. And I can't decide if I think that the stabilized robot form looked female, because it sort of vaguely did, but arguably so.
Kind of. Well, the spark is sort of where the stomach would be, but there's a big depression around it, which kind of gives a feminine form. There's like almost no spine.
I mean, it looks about as feminine as regular Eraser does.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. And so that may be just an Eraser thing, is that she is...
She's got that girlish figure.
Big bird
She's a slim, athletic woman.
Yes.
Not a voluptuous one like some other characters we could mention.
Although Cheetor is calling her ugly at this point, so...
Yeah!
Yeah, I'm wondering about Cybertronian standards of beauty based on that. Just because of the spider thing, or...
I have some various thoughts about that, because it is interesting, and I think once we get to the trigger, I'm going to say, finally say my piece on Black Arachnia. But I think it's very interesting that for being such a visually over-sexualized character, she doesn't really seem to be, exceptionally attractive to any of the other characters, except, I guess, Tarantulas, and then later Silverbolt, and then there's sort of the whole puberty thing with Cheetor.
Yeah, I think it's just...
And you're just kind of just
Cheetor's
your own point there, too.
Yeah.
I think Cheetor's just still in his girls are icky stage.
Yeah, that may be a lot of it, but it strikes me as very interesting that for such a sexualized looking character, she's not the writing doesn't seem to notice that.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I don't want everybody Tex Averying it out over her.
I think that's just fine. I'm perfectly happy with that, but I do think it's interesting because in many other settings, they would have been, that would have been a plot point.
Because, well, you don't want a cat Tex Averying over her. You want a wolf.
Yeah,
But,
and he shows up
actually,
later.
Attraction, it might be based upon alt mode, because he's a cat, she's a bug, doesn't like that, but Tarantulas likes, another bug.
Well,
Yeah,
then
and there's Silverbolt, who is half bird and half dog.
Okay, it does
and
break
then
down weird.
there's Tigatron and Air Razor.
But there are at least there are examples of this in other series, like in Robots in Disguise. The first one of the car guys was attracted to red cars.
And not Transformer cars, just regular cars, which I think makes him a sex criminal.
Yeah. Sideburn has some issues there. There's some consent issues he needs to work out.
That guy's going to get busted by the Transformers equivalent of To Catch a Predator on a Ford Lincoln Mercury dealership.
It does remind me a little bit. So one of my freelance jobs right now is as a romance editor. And they do specify in there that necrophilia with actual dead bodies is not cool, but the living dead are okay. Likewise, bestiality versus lycanthropy. And really what it comes down to, it doesn't say this in the guidelines, but ultimately if you think about it, what it comes down to is, can the thing consent? Vampires can consent. Werewolves can consent. Actual wolves and corpses cannot. Actual red plain old human cars cannot consent, and that's what's wrong with that.
I mean, it's not, they're cars, so they're just things. So
yeah.
It's not that he's doing anything untoward to them, it's just that it's gross.
Oh god, I have the most horrible thought in my head now. And it's Sideburn just saying, look at her, she's a Ferrari, she was asking for it. I said that was the worst. I'm sorry for saying it.
So we're gonna do that show after we do Beast Machines, right?
Yeah. I do have one of the UK DVD sets that has some of the episodes that weren't released. Let's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then
Instead,
we have
let's
to move on to
talk about this
Armada.
cool.
And after Armada, we would have to do Energon.
The first half of Energon is better than people give it credit for, mostly because the second half of Energon is even worse than people remember.
Thousand Inferno.
Frozen. Oh no, Prometheus.
I kind of want us to do that now just so we can identify the exact point where the localization team gave up.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna throw this through Google Translate and that's it.
Pretty much. Yeah, so I think we're gonna be not doing that thing.
Yeah.
Luckily we are
That's
watching
still
Beast Wars, and this is a pretty cool fight scene.
Yes.
It is. I love the unnecessary backflips.
Yes.
Yes.
We haven't seen her using the kung fu a lot, and luckily she kind of uses it sparingly, but I do really love that she headbutts Cheetor.
Yes.
That's great.
He deserves
Also,
it.
I love the best thing from the entire fight sequence to me was Cheetor jumping out from cover with his eyes turned off, firing wildly, and then having them slowly come back on and looking to see if he hit anything.
Yes. That was pretty adorable.
And then he gets headbutted.
Yes. Because maybe he should have been paying attention.
But luckily he still got those fast reflexes as he manages to turn the cyber venom dart back on Black Arachne herself, so she's out of the fight.
Yep.
Yeah. That was actually pretty impressive of him.
Yeah.
Does this technically mean Cheetor is a more competent fighter than Tigatron?
Wow. Well,
no,
Tigatron is a lot younger.
being attacked.
Sort of.
But, I don't know.
Possibly. Depending
And also
on
maybe
how-
she was tired.
Maybe.
There's a crossbow.
Box.
That's true. Anyway, so threat's over, but it's not because Waspinator and Pterosaur are also there.
Yay, the cavalry.
Yay! Wait, no.
Yeah, no,
They're
the
bad.
bad cavalry.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like the Waspinator as who dares attack Waspinator.
Like everybody dares Waspinator.
Come on!
Yeah.
You get attacked.
Literally everybody.
Stupid Waspinator. He's so great. I love him.
He's the best.
Yeah. And he's the one who gets knocked out of the fight first, as Cheetor manages to lure him over one of those Energon geysers. And so he gets hilariously bug-zapped.
Yes.
Yep.
Again, he gets off kind of lucky in this episode.
Yeah, it's not as slapsticky as a lot of his deaths.
Yeah, he just gets, beat.
Yeah.
And it's not nearly as horrible as what ends up happening to Pterosaur.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Pterosaur is just
Okay.
oof.
And anyway, while all this is going on, Rhinox is trying to do something by hooking his something up to the stasis pod.
Yeah, like the computer isn't working and it has to run off his internal computer to...
Yeah, what it
Do
seems to be
something.
doing is the programming that allows him to scan alt modes. That seems to be damaged on the stasis pod. So whether he's uploading, like copying his own program over, he seems to be copying it over because he disconnects from it and it's still able to do it.
Yeah, he just sort of
Yeah.
boots it up, but in the process almost killing himself to get it to turn on.
Apparently this causes him a great deal of strain. Poor guy.
It looks like the comedy version of somebody accidentally electrocuting themselves.
Yes. We don't get to see his robot skeleton, but apart from that is basically what it looks like. It looks like it super hurts. And so he collapses, and now the stasis pod does have its scanner ready, but there's nothing there to scan because it's a desolate wasteland.
Oops.
Oh no! So the stasis pod keeps beeping like a hospital heart rate monitor as
Yes.
Pterosaur shows up and is just like, I win because everyone else is stuck in beast mode or dead.
I like that Pterosaur refers to it as his stasis pod. Like, what are you gonna do with it?
Well, maybe,
It's like-
Tarantulas got to make himself a girlfriend, so I'm going to find some pterosaur bones.
It's like, I have gotten the stasis pod. It's like, Pterosaur, what are you even gonna...
Well, I mean,
No.
I guess the Predacons don't really know the severity of the situation here, so I can't imagine there's time to reprogram it, and I doubt that Pterosaur even knows how to reprogram it.
Aw, it would
So
be great
he's
if
just
he
gonna
tried.
he's just gonna get a dead stasis pod.
Maybe he expects he's gonna do like what they end up doing with Quick Strike, where it's just kind of, okay, Maximal wakes up, they have enough head trauma and are naive enough that the Predacons being there when they wake up makes them work.
Yes. They managed to convince them. He's just going to talk them into it.
Yes. But unfortunately, at the last minute, that bird drops by, and we've got a new Maximal.
Yep.
Yay!
And lots of screeching.
Yes, lots of screeching.
Yes, that
And
is...
because it's her first episode, she gets to beat up Pterosaur, which I guess, I mean, there are more impressive things you can do in your first episode, but
The extent to which she did it was very impressive.
Oh
Well,
man,
it's
she
pretty good.
drags him around in bird mode, and then finally, missile dismembers him, so that his body parts just raining from the
He
sky.
just gets gimped and like... I think he's been reduced to the most amount of pieces that anyone has so far.
Yeah, that's
I
like
think so.
Waspinator levels of destruction in
Yeah.
later
Oh, yeah.
episodes.
Yeah, in later episodes, Waspinator hasn't been as beat up as much so far.
No, that's really going to start in like season 2.
Yeah. Pterosaur just gets wrecked.
yeah.
There was that one episode where Pterosaur wrecked Megatron,
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
he
and
was...
this is still worse than that.
Yeah, it's worse, because in that episode, at least, like, his head and most of his limbs were still sort of attached, at least by cables. This is like complete dismemberment. Like all of his ball joints had been ripped off.
Yeah.
And then some.
This
like
one,
it's-
yeah, you're going to need to glue them together, maybe.
Yeah, you may need some glue.
And some extra parts.
Yes.
And instruction manual.
Just find a junker Pterosaur somewhere and build a new one.
I do love that shocked expression on his severed head.
There are some really good shots when Waspinator was chasing Cheetor and when Pterosaur and Airraiser are having their fight. It's really good, like, following shots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, I really like Airraiser.
Yeah, so our new Maximal's Airraiser, voiced by Pauline Newstone,
Yes.
who, I think, was she Frieza on Dragon Ball?
Yes, she was the
What?
Canadian Frieza.
Oh.
Okay.
Because I think, I forget whether we went over this before, because it is relevant to Beast Wars, that originally the Dragon Ball Z sub had that Canadian Vancouver-based cast.
Did they get Frieza? I don't remember that.
In the US, they switched over to the Funimation Fort Worth, Texas-based cast. But I believe in Canada, they continued with the Canadian cast.
Yes, they
They
did.
probably could have justified it just
They
by doing that to meet the Canadian media standards.
Yes.
Oh, how far did it go in Canada?
At least to Frieza. I didn't watch much of it after that.
Well, I guess I remember mostly, it was where I first recognized Scott McNeil as Piccolo.
Yeah, it used to be on before or after Beast Wars, so I saw a lot of it, and I know that, Cheetor was the original Goku.
Yeah.
And one of the Home for Infinite Losers guys is just Pterosaur.
But yes, Pauline Newstone was Frieza, which
Uh-huh.
just amused me to no end.
I
Having just a straight up woman voicing this character.
Oh, and they replaced her with another woman.
Yeah, it's fair.
Frieza's this usually this creepy little old woman sounding voice.
Yes.
And she was also the
Ocean Group-
voice of Canadian Clearasil commercials.
Huh.
Oh, great.
Just using the Airazor voice, which was weird.
Yeah, that sounds a little
Clean
weird.
and clear and under control. We don't get a whole lot of her in this episode.
No.
We'll talk a little more about her in the Spark when she actually gets to do stuff other than murder Pterosaur.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes back to the Axelon, she meets everybody. Rat Trap gets one line just to be a dick to her.
Yes. That rat trap.
And Tigatron's there in the base for only the second time.
Well, he has to be fixed, right? Because he
Oh,
got
yeah.
all that cyber venom.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got all beat up. Poor guy.
And Rhinox is acting like a proud papa.
Yes, it's so cute.
And he repeats that line that, about when a spark comes online, there is great joy.
And
So-
Cheetor's like,
Wait, what?
hey.
Hey, are you repeating material that soon?
Well, because Cheetor just has precognitive dreams. It's weird. It never comes up, but this is the second time it's happened.
Well,
He does. Yeah.
It's never anything relevant.
Not really.
No,
I mean,
know.
it's just like deja vu, really. He has
Yeah.
dreams that end up giving him deja vu, but not anything useful.
Well,
Yeah.
we have established that some Transformers can have superheroes from back in G1. Not superheroes,
That is
superpowers. So maybe he just has a really crappy superpower.
Yes, precognitive dreams, but never of anything important.
Exactly.
And I suppose should we note here that in the Japanese localization of Beast Wars, Airazor is a dude.
Yeah,
that's a
well,
Weird.
And the toy is pretty androgynous.
Yeah, it could go either way.
I'm pretty sure it's not just that she's a dude, but that she's a boy.
Yes.
I mean, she's like young.
Yeah.
She's
And
like
kind of,
squire to
Tigatron?
Tigatron's
Yes.
samurai thing.
Kind of unseemly.
Well, samurai, there was some of that going on sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that it's a male-male relationship, it's just that, I guess
The
Airazor
implied
is portrayed as
age
very
difference.
young.
Yeah.
Yes, the implied age differences.
Whereas there
Okay.
isn't a lot of, there's a great, obviously they're both the same age more or less in the show, and also Pauline Newstone does not sound particularly young.
No. But yes, in the Japanese version, again, there's this whole consent thing that consent is important, guys. Consent is important.
Alright.
Rat Trap
So?
is Pikachu in the Japanese dub too, so.
Oh, yeah.
These are things I didn't need to know.
I'm just gonna go drink to forget.
Sounds like a good plan. I'll join you.
Alright, so, is there anything else we need to discuss in regards to the Spark?
No, introduces Sparks. That's good. Otherwise, it's just another new character episode, which is
Well, it's a it's a new female character episode. And,
That's right.
and I'd like to point out that this was the second female character we got, which puts it way ahead of most Transformer series, even today.
Yep.
Yeah. It was like
even,
G1 had some, but they weren't toy characters.
Well, and they weren't in multiple episodes. They were guest
yeah,
stars.
they were basically just, there was an episode that was like, hey, look, they were a gimmick for one episode.
Yeah.
They were that episode's gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, some episodes you have the Dinobots being created, some episodes you have like an island somewhere doing some weird stuff, some episodes you have girls.
Yeah, it's like, I'm trying to think of other series that have a consistent, well, most series nowadays they have a token woman character.
Yeah.
And I
Okay,
guess
fine.
Robots in Disguise has a lead female character.
Yeah.
And then it's had one female villain.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
And-
think about. Like, how many other shows have had a female villain who's, like, there a lot of the time? And the only one I could think of is Cybertron, sadly.
I love
Yeah, I
those.
guess- I guess Prime has a recurring female villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess
Hmm.
Animated also had a recurring female villain.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess we know that there are more female characters coming up in Robots in Disguise that we haven't seen yet.
Oh, yeah.
Haven't the one
Yes.
episodes aired?
I don't know.
They have all aired in Australia, so I
Yeah.
have seen them all. I'm not even
I have
sure what they're up
not.
to.
I-
I
Although
will
I
not
know that-
spoil.
Behind-
I know that there's a second female villain coming up, voiced by, I think, the mom from Sister Sister.
Okay.
Okay.
The show will eventually pass the Bechdel test.
Yeah.
And it might have in that episode with Filch.
I mean, I guess that depends on
I can't
who
recall.
Filch was addressing Shiny to.
Yes.
Whether she was addressing Strong Arm when she said that at any point.
Filch is like a Pokemon, almost.
I love her, and I wish that she was
I
more
wish
of a
she did
character.
more. Yeah, but...
I like that that's not, like, again, like I was saying with Black Arachnia, where her being female isn't like the entire point of her character, even though it is the entire point of her design. I do like with Filch that really her gender is a completely
Arbitrary
side,
thing.
unrelated thing.
Yeah. I just wish
Also,
more of the characters in Rid were like that.
I really like
Yeah.
her because, well, I will say that there will be another female villain who shows up whose gender primarily just seems related to or tied to alt mode.
Right. Because I know, spoiling a little, she's like bee themed, right?
Yes.
So it makes
she's
sense that
like-
she's a lady.
So she's like a queen bee.
Right.
So that's really, even that's alright. I just really like Filch because I'm really into Corvids lately. So, and she's a female character who is also like a Corvid of some description.
And she shares their predilection for stealing shiny things.
Yes. And so I want to see more of her and have a toy of her, and I just really like her.
Well, if you want a toy of the female character, or any of the villain characters in the new Robots in Disguise, yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
get a Steeljaw.
Yeah, he's made of sex.
Okay, he's a really nice toy, but you get you get the one steps or maybe a big one.
Yeah, I saw the one-step Thunderhoof.
Yeah.
I'm tempted. There is allegedly a warrior toy of him in the pipeline, and I'm tempted by that because I just want a tiny robotic Frank Stallone.
Yeah.
I just want a tractor.
And also,
It's
he's a tractor. He's like a deer guy.
Yeah, the deer guy's kind of neat, but it's tractors like
and he's the space mafia.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this
But
has been
yes,
Stasis
it was-
Pod, the Robots in Disguise podcast.
Yes.
I mean, my point is that having a second female character like this, I mean, I don't think I had been spoiled for that when I went into watching the episode, so I was very, very happy when she showed up and was a female character. And there were a few BotCons that Bob Forward and Larry DiTilio were at. And the thing that we learned pretty quickly with Larry DiTilio was it seemed a lot like it was more important for him to tell a good story than a true story. So, like, when he was talking about how the Transmetals were going to have sparks that were like little virtual pet Tamagotchi sort of things, because that was right after Hasbro had bought Tiger Electronics, and that, of course, was clearly not a thing that ever happened. But he did, one of the things he said that, you know, due to his nature as an engaging storyteller may have to be taken with a grain of salt. But in this case, I buy it that you know, when Hasbro came to them and said, hey, can you put this toy in the show? They said, can we make it a woman? And Hasbro was kind of like, fine. So the Airazor toy was not really designed to be female, which, you know, if you look at it, yeah, you can see that. Allegedly, when Hasbro came to them with Black Arachnia, they were also like, so it's a Black Widow, so this one's a female character, right? And Hasbro was like, sure. Yeah, we hadn't put that much thought into it, but yeah, we'll go with that. So, I mean, it was definitely Bob Ford and Larry DiTillio, who I want to just always refer to as Bob and Larry, because in the fandom, they became just Bob and Larry. But, it was definitely through their urging that, you know, we got the female characters we did in Beast Wars. It wasn't really Hasbro's doing it all. And, but of course Hasbro embraced it enough that they went on to make a Transmetal Airazor, even though she wasn't in the show at that point and that toy wasn't in the show. And it was, you know, it meant a lot to me as a female collector at the time, because this was when I was about 18 when this is coming out. I was sort of old enough to appreciate the stuff going on behind the scenes, and I really loved Airazor showing up and being revealed as a female character, and it's just no big. Nobody's like, oh my god, a girl.
What's this, a woman?
And she was this very sort of low-key, tomboyish sort of character, which you could even get some idea of from her first episode, because again, she's not like Black Arachnia. She doesn't have big, shiny, chrome gold boobs hanging out. So it meant a lot to me. I did go to Toys R Us pretty much seriously every day waiting for that toy to come out. And as I've been going through my collection and selling off a lot of stuff lately, because as I said, I'm currently working as a freelance editor, so I have no money. But I found her toy, and I've got it among a handful of others on my coffee table that I've been sort of fiddling with again, because she's great. I like her a lot. I wish that she had gotten to be on the show more, but we'll later. But yeah, it meant a lot to me to have her show up. So this episode means a lot to me, even beyond the, you know, introduction of the Spark concept.
Yeah. And also, I will note that I like her design, even though her head kind of makes her look like Hawkman.
Yeah, I can see that.
Does she actually have a nose?
No, it's kind of covered up by her beak helmet thing.
The beak kind of fills in for it, so she doesn't...
Which I guess makes her a precursor to current Transformer design, which are frequently noseless.
Yeah, when we have noses now, it's like, wow, that's weird.
That's kind of a proto-Prime design. I think it was Alex Milner, maybe it was Sarah Stone. Somebody drew a sketch of what they said was, you know, IDW verse Knockout, and the only real difference was that he had a nose.
Well, he's drawing up the comics now, isn't he?
Yeah, and he has a nose. That's pretty much the only difference, is that he has a nose. Because they have noses. But yeah, she was a precursor to that design of not having noses on Transformers for some reason.
Alright, so I think that should do it for the Spark. Until next time, you can find us on Tumblr at stasispod.tumblr.com. You can find us on Twitter at stasispod. And now you can find us on Facebook under Stasis Pod, the Beast Wars Podcast.
And we are hosted on iaconunderground.net.
Yes, and you can also find us, if you prefer, on iTunes. And, of course, if you'd like to let us know about how you feel about Sparks or female Transformers or Cheetor's bad catchphrases, drop a line to the Maxim mailbag at stasispodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you, and we'll read your letter on the show.
We want some letters. We haven't gotten any.
Yep.
Send us letters. I know writing and not just tweeting at people has gone the way of the dodo, but
you can also tweet at us. We might read those on the show.
Oh, yeah,
we might.
Honestly, if you send us, like a letter with bits of with letters cut out from magazines, we'd probably read that.
Yeah.
So send us your insane manifestos.
I would love some insane manifestos.
Can it be an insane manifesto about robots? That'd be okay.
I mean, obviously that would be preferable.
Yeah.
And, we're not, this is a Beast Wars podcast. We're not going to be able to do much about the confluence between the reptilians, the chemtrails, and the Bilderberg group.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I was on another podcast, this last week.
Oh, that's right. If you'd like to hear even more of David, he's on another podcast talking about the Gundams.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I believe that's like when you put a bunch of guns in a river to prevent it from flowing. It's a Gundam.
No, it's giant robots in Japan. Specifically, the new series that's coming in October, Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Okay, so is that one going to have Gelgoogs and Zagoks in it?
No, there's Gundams and there's
maybe some Ack guys.
Oh, I love Ack guys.
Oh, they're so adorable. No, there hasn't been that much announced beyond the Gundam itself. There's been only one other suit basically shown off everywhere that it kind of looks like a skinnier version of the Leo from Gundam Wing. But,
will there be some sort of gym?
So you're telling me there's a chance of Gelgoogs?
Probably not. It's not Universal Century, so no.
Cloudy with a chance of Gelgoogs.
No. We'll
but gyms. I need gyms.
There will probably be something GM-like.
Okay.
Would you accept a guy named Jim?
There's five
Maybe.
different mecha designers on the show.
I mean, really, a guy named Jim is a huge step up from most of Gundam naming conventions.
Yeah.
Oh, there are some really good names in. Well, the main character is named Mikazuki, which means crescent moon or something, and he's got a friend named Orga, which is kind of wonky. He's named after a Godzilla monster. But the best character name so far, Biscuit Griffin.
What?
He's a fat guy. He's probably going to be a mechanic, but yeah.
A fat guy named Biscuit? That's embarrassing.
Yeah. So I'm on episode 13 of The Cockpit. You can find it at www.spaceoperasatellite.com. As well, they also have a podcast talking about Legend of the Galactic Heroes too, which I'm not on, but that's amusing.
All right. So until next time on the Stasis Pod, I'm Rob.
I'm Jen.
I'm Alex.
I'm a Gundam.
Okay.
I'm glad you had fun.
Yes.
Now have your plans, and we'll let you out of your editing box again sometime next year.
That's right. I will note, however, in regards to Gundam names, the Gundam character from Canada is named Andrew Graham.
Yeah, well, it's a good name.
The American one is Chibody Crockett.
Yeah, it's better than Chibody Crockett.
Well, no, because it's just a totally normal guy name. So the future Canada probably does have a guy named Jim.
Well,
That's true.
There is a
I'm
guy
still stuck on the new Gundam series being named after hemophiliacs in the foster care system.
No, there is a Gundam character named Jim Gingham, who in the Gundam Musou games is voiced by Scott McNeil.
Yay!
Yay, we made it relevant to the show again.
That's in Turn A. I forget if I don't think Turn A has a dub, but it's been put out recently on DVD.
That's the one where the main Gundam has like a big mustache, right?
Yeah, that it has butterfly wings, and the main character ends up cross-dressing a few times.
I love Turn A. They wanted to make the main character a girl, but Bandai wouldn't let them, so they just made him super girly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been real hard.
Yeah, well...
Making an anime character super girly.
Well,
Yeah.
it is rather big tradition in at least a few other Gundam series where main characters, if not the main character, ends up in a dress.
Yeah.
Happened to Judo in Double Zeta. Tyria Airday in Double O. Well, there are characters in there that like they don't have a gender, so they can be either. And Tyria is one of them.
Huh?
But most of the time
Cloud in
he's a
Gundam
dude.
Fantasy VII, or wait, I'm getting my franchises mixed up.
Yeah. But yeah, that's fun anyway. I was on another podcast. I didn't have to edit it. It was fun.